Warframe just launched its yearly summer event Dog Days, bringing us tons of free loot that you can get your hands on right now for a limited time. So, in this quick info video, I want to give you a brief rundown of what's going on in the first place, in case you've never played the event, but also an update on what has changed this year and which rewards are brand new. Big shout out to all our beautiful channel members, and now let's jump right into it. Alright, first of all, I want to give you a very quick rundown of how this event actually works. In order to play it, this is very easy. All you gotta do is walk over to your star chart right here, and then you will find everything you need on Earth. This event will show up in the top right corner of the screen in the event section, and then you will see this right here. The event is gonna run for a bit more than a month, and during this time you'll be able to play the following missions. At the very beginning, if you haven't played yet, then only Mission 1 is open, which you will find right here on Earth, Dog Days Arena level 15 to 20. Once you've finished this mission, like I already did, you will unlock Mission 2, which you will find over here, and so on and so forth, until you unlock the final Mission 4 right here. This is the highest level one, and it will also give you the most rewards. The way these Dog Days missions then actually work is incredibly simple. It's basically a team deathmatch, you versus the AI-controlled Knightmare. Whichever team has the most points when the timer reaches 0 will win the mission, and that is almost guaranteed to be you and your allies. The special thing about Dog Days though is that you can't use any of your personal loadout, and instead you can be force equipped with the Soaktron, which is a water rifle, and the Noodletron, which, and I kid you not, is an actual pool noodle with which you beat the enemies. In addition to that, there are also the Lob Blobs, which are AoE water bombs that you can pick up at various spots around the map. Now, in case you're wondering how to most efficiently play through these missions, then actually there's not all too much to say here, because you'll have to play until the timer reaches 0 anyway. In my personal opinion though, even though they gave the Soaktron a perfect reload mechanic last year, and this year they additionally increased the projectile velocity so it's less atrocious to play with, I still think that the Soaktron is the worst weapon of the bunch. The Noodletron is a pretty decent choice, a melee weapon, and in the lower levels also a guaranteed one-hit with a slam attack, but of course the Lob Blobs have an AoE and deal the most damage. But now that you know how the event works, you might be wondering, why should I do the whole thing in the first place, right? What is in it for me? So let's talk about the rewards. And this year, they actually switched up things quite a bit. First of all, what we have are the aforementioned 4 stages of the mission. And for the first completion of every stage, you will get a couple of credits and one of the brand new community glyphs. On top of that, there's also a new item this year called the Daybreak Domestic Drone, which is, as the name suggests, one of these little Roombas that you can have cleaning up your orbiter. The best thing here is that you don't have to do anything, because you will simply get it as a gift for just logging in one time during the event period. The main reward pool of the event, however, that is accessible through the event vendor, who for Dog Days is Nakak in Cetus. In Nakak's shop, you can use the event currency Nakak Pearls to buy all these beautiful things you see in the background here. So, how about we take a look at everything available, and I will give you my personal suggestions as to what to look out for in specific. First of all, and this will be specifically interesting to the free-to-play tenno out there who might not have all that much platinum available, there are 2 color palettes. The beach one with a lot of yellow and also turquoise, but pretty nice whitish tones as well. And then the other one would be further down here, which is the Marshlands one that has more like brown, green tones, but also some very, very dark ones, so you kind of sort of have the chance to get a black and a white, or at least something that comes very close, which are 2 very commonly used colors that you usually don't have access to as a free-to-play player. We then have a bunch of cosmetics, like for example these beautiful community glyphs here. You can also have the Hang Loose poster for your orbiter, which is very nice with Yarely on it. And now that we have the Honoria title system in the game, you will also be able to gain 1 brand new title with 300 Nakak Pearls. On top of that though, there's also 1 actual equipment piece, and that would be the Furax Wraith, where you can get the main blueprint as well as the 2 gauntlet pieces that you need to build it. In my personal opinion, it's not that necessary to get it here because you can also always farm it through Cetus bounties. If you like to do Captura art though, then you should definitely take a look at the Dog Days Captura scene, which in my opinion is very nice because we sorely lack any type of beachy, palm tree-like aesthetic in Warframe, and that is the closest we can get. If you like decorating your orbiter, then we also have a lot of floofs and other posters, but the 4 roller floofs right here, they're not stationary, but your actual Kavat can play with the ball and kick it around, which I always like to see. Completely new this year are the Daybreak skins that we have available for the Bubonico, we have a Sigatra, and they also come with a Magistar as well as a Compressor Daybreak skin. If you like Cyandanas, there's also the Semia Tau Sun Cyandana. Not 100% sure if this one is new or we had it last year already, but free Cyandanas are always nice, so keep that one in mind maybe as well. And if you want to make your normal weapons look like water guns, then you can also have the Soaktron rifle skin and the Noodletron, which applies to all hammers. And last, but definitely not least, let's also talk about the functional parts because it's not only just cosmetics. Right here, we have 9 different mods available. These are mostly weapon augments, and the shop features quite some nice ones. First and foremost here, we need to talk about acid shells. This one is by far the strongest mod of the bunch because you can put it on the Kuva Sobek to get one of the most broken synergies in the entire game. It just blows up the entire screen and is absolutely crazy. Another one in my opinion that would be worth looking out for is Nightwatch Napalm. This is an augment for the Ogress, and if you want to do Profit Taker, this one is a must for speedrunning, as well as just, doing some normal Ogress builds. I personally like it a lot because it dispenses napalm on the floor and gives it a lingering AoE, not just the explosion. Everything else here, Akan Brunt, Ripkaz, or Jatka Tag, you can take a look at it if you like it. I personally have never really used it all too much. I should say though, and this is very important, all these mods here are not event exclusive. You can always farm them from the Kayla Dathame boss fight on Sedna. However, if you get unlucky with the drops, it might be a bit tedious to play, so I would say at least Acid Shells and Nightwatch Napalm, those two are something that you could save yourself the hassle by simply getting them in the event right here. But you might think, all these different things here, that's quite a lot of Nakak Pearls. How the heck am I supposed to get all of that to buy it? Well, let's quickly talk about how to most optimally farm for the event currency. The first way to get Nakak Pearls would of course be playing through the missions because they give you a one-time bonus, 25, 50, 75, and 100 for the first completion. After that though, you only want to play mission 4 because here you will get an additional reward of 2 Nakak Pearls for every kill that you scored, and now, this is new this year, also for every assist. However, you don't want to do this in solo mode, but instead make sure that you play it with a full squad. This is because in a full squad, you're gonna have more enemies spawning as well, which increases the kill potential for the entire team by a lot. On top of that though, there will also be 5 special alerts throughout August and September, which each will yield you 175 Nakak Pearls for one-time completions as well. Right here in the background, you can see the dates when those alerts will go live, and as a little additional treat on top, for each and every one of those weeks, we're also gonna have a double affinity weekend at the same time. So, if you still need to level up stuff, then fire up your foundry now, build all of it, so you can go and power level it. My personal little recommendation would be, if you have a little bit of platinum to spare, then you can get yourself a 3-day affinity booster during the double affinity weekend, because the double affinity from the booster and from the weekend stack, which will give you 4 times affinity if you combine both. And now also check out my top 10 list of Warframes for 2026 right here. Big thank you to Demon Lord Zell, Demon Emperor, Emperor Prime, Nost Linux Gaming, Ondakanio 2, Pepper Wolf, Mihawky, Socrates the Almighty Rat, Leo Morizaki, Hantakas, Patrisator, Boomia 1, Zave, Awindai, Ascension, Quax, Blue Eagle 98, Hearthwield, Everin 8802, Gabriel Tevez, Yaku Ivan Gonzalez, G. Schnoz, Muffdisg, and all other generous channel members for your continuous support. We see each other hopefully in the next one, and until then, good soaking.